Purpose. No one can create your purpose for you. No one can tell you who to be. So in purpose, you have to create your own purpose. And in evolution, you have to evolve towards that purpose. It's easier to live when you have goals to meet. You understand? If you have goals to meet, then you don't feel so voided, and you understand why every day you're looking at this person in the mirror, because that is the cool part about the game. You get to be anybody you want to be.
Alrighty, guys, we're live again. So I appreciate everybody joining us on this Monday Monday night now, of the Power of Ownership podcast. Am I dragging a little bit, or am I?
You seem good to me. We'll see how it goes, though.
Cool. All right, so let's go ahead and get the party started. And David, looks like your ex went out. I think you have to do upgrade a subscription in order to stream. You want to switch that out for a different one?
Yeah, go for it. If there's anyone there that we can switch it out for.
Let's see. I think I have only thing left is the other Facebook that I have for you.
Let's leave it off. Let's leave it alone then.
Gotcha. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the LinkedIn then.
Sounds good. Please. Yes. Thank you.
Oh, I can't do multiple LinkedIn, so I'm gonna do multiple Facebook at the limit. Let's take your X off.
We'll get that fixed.
Yeah.
We're still, for those of us watching, we're still trying to learn how to connect every account we got to be able to go stream in here. So this is good.
Gotcha. All right, cool. So we got it going. And actually, I can't do my Facebook either, so I'm gonna do my other YouTube channel. So let's do that.
All right.
Well,
you are lagging just a tiny bit, but it could be too. You're jumping between accounts and all that stuff too. So
right. So now I should be good, right? I see it. Is the lips moving a little bit slower, or is that just all right? Cool.
1, 2, 3.
All right. So is this moving fast enough? I'm a little bit behind.
You're good. You're good, man.
All right, cool. So let's go ahead and start with the actual introductions. All right, my name is Brandon B. Dixon. My NMLS is 1541210 at BNL, and also on all social media. Please like, subscribe. Don't forget, we will actually read any comments live, like Abdullah. I can't.
Thank you for saying hello.
Hey, what's going on? We will read everything live. So please like, subscribe, comment, and any questions on what we have going, please let us know. Also, please subscribe to the YouTube. Is that Big and Alone? Also on all social media, including the YouTube. Go to my website, www.applywithb.com, if you want to book me for a consultation, or if you want to actually start a mortgage. Please go ahead and go from there. I actually look like they missed me on my YouTube channel. I got a spike real quick. Go to call me 832-775-8357. You can call me 24/7 as long as it's about business. Go to www.brandonbdixon.com if you want to lease or list. Don't forget I'm a real estate agent as well with Action Mortgage. Last but not least, we love Frenchies.com is coming soon. So please, I do have 2 litters of pups that's going to be going out. So these are exclusive bloodlines. So please check them out. David, I got you queued up and ready to go.
Sounds good. Just to clarify, you're with Axon Realty, not Axon Mortgage. Yeah. That's all right though.
Axon Realty and is next to Lending now. So
that's right, next to Lending. We changed the name. So this is my website, Infinite Home Team. You can go there, infinitehometeam.com. Find out a lot of information about me, videos, content, application link, everything's in there.
Gotcha.
Go to the next one for me, if you would, Mr. Brandon.
Hold on, I'm turning the timers off for all over as well.
There we go. At David R. Youngs, that is my handle for a lot of my content here. Or also at Infinite Home Team is another one. I think we're popping up here in a sec.
Mm-hmm. And the next one, I got the NMLS.
There we go. NMLS number 328679, one of the first ones issued back when they created those licenses. Got David R. Youngs again. We'll have to change that. There we go. There's my YouTube channel. There's the at Infinite Home Team. That's where you'll find me as well. Infinite Home Team, if you look that up on any other social media platform. And give it a sec. There's the most important one. If you literally just go to this one thing, type it into your phone, .cards/David Youngs, that will actually bring you to a site that you can see all of my content in one place. Download that to your phone. You'll have access to all of my profiles in one shot, including my application link, my Zoom room, my Calendly, etc.
Gotcha. All right, so let's go ahead and get it started, man. This is the Power of Ownership podcast, where we talk about not only ownership of properties, businesses, different things like that. We also talk about ownership of yourself, the mind, body, and the soul. So we expand the platform, and we have all these talking points. And the biggest takeaway, I like to do a little bit of takeaway, like almost like a Jay Leno monologue, what kind of inspired me this week. And one of my biggest inspirations, I noticed that a lot of people are kind of not really engaged into the game. And what I mean by that is that, all right, we're here, we're in the third density. Why not play the game to the fullest extent? Why go through kind of without a plan and kind of aimlessly, wandering around? Why not play with intention? So
exactly.
I've been noticing that, and a lot of these clips we're kind of talking about intention and where the world's going and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and start talking about it. You got any thoughts for this week? What's one of the main things that struck you this week, that learning points this week?
It's funny. This is going to sound it might come across the wrong way, but one thing I thought was really interesting that I was going to make a video on that I'll just share here is I've noticed an uptick in people saying and etc. And it's funny to me because literally, if you look up the definition of etc., it means and other things. Mm-hmm. So when you say and etc., you're actually saying and many other things and many other things. Mm-hmm. It's the most redundant sentence you could ever say. So it's just etc. But just I thought of that as a point of just sometimes we overcomplicate things. Mm-hmm. To simplify. I'm guilty of this myself, is overcomplicating things that don't need to be that complicated. So the invoice we were just talking about a second ago, just keeping it nice and simple. So etc. is sufficient. You don't need to add the words and etc. So that's my takeaway for the week.
Smiley J7K says hi, man. So what's going on, man? Please add your friends, tell them that we're on, and share the video and like and subscribe, man.
There's a lot of good content. We got a lot of good videos queued up here. I'm excited for it. Hey, for those also Human Side of the Wolf, thank you. Nice to say hi to you. For those of you that don't know what we're doing here, what we're going to do is we play video content from other creators, and because Brandon and I are both experts in the mortgage real estate industry, we take this information, we kind of break it down and try to simplify it and take different opinions and thoughts on this and make it give the takeaways for what you can take away from this as somebody watching this, maybe not in the space, kind of breaking these down, giving that informative insights. So gotcha. Every week we got really good content that Brandon thankfully helps us create as well. So basically the Human Side of the Wolf says a reaction show. Basically reaction show, but we try to do a high IQ a little bit more than just not just a reaction. I disagree firmly or agree strongly, and here's why. Here's the reasons behind it, and then perhaps provide additional content or information that will shed some light on why we think that way. That might influence your thought process.
Mm-hmm. So we add to the content. We start, that is the base. So we give our opinions based on our life experience, and we kind of hopefully by that shed some light on different things and different angles that might help the audience. So that's kind of where we go from there. So
could I also share too, just on that point, you might be wondering who we are and what we do, but we actually do this Human Side of the Wolf. We actually do this every Monday evening, typically around 9:00 Central Time, somewhere right around that time point or time frame. And we usually try to have more guests. A lot of times we'll have 3, 4, 5 people on. Tonight we get to keep it just Brandon and I, the two main co-hosts that are doing this together. So it might go a little bit faster because of that too. But we like to bring in different guests that have really good insights. They have maybe a unique spin on some of these things. So if, by the way, anyone here knows of anyone that's really strong in their space, a strong expert that is qualified, we would love to bring them on the show if they're not afraid of getting on camera, and having them as a guest on the show too. So feel free to invite someone if you have that too. It might be worth just sharing, though, our backgrounds briefly. So I started in the industry, in the mortgage industry, but as a financial advisor back in 2005, October. So this is my 21st year in business. I know I've got a young face, but I've been in it for a while. So I understand how mortgage lending and all this ties into other areas of insurance and investment strategy and tax strategy and all these pieces too. And I volunteer my time as a teacher and instructor as well on the side. Brandon, obviously you have quite the credentials. Most of them are sitting behind you on the wall, by the way. But do you want to share maybe briefly your background? I don't think we've gotten to hear that before.
As far as just going retro, I mean, I was the training and development manager at Gallery Furniture for 6 years. So I trained over 150 salespeople. So I have a sales background and training background. I've been in the mortgage industry for 10 years. So with that being said, I've been doing the podcast for 9. So I'm one of the first to embrace the digital age. Now everybody's kind of hopping in the pool, but I'm tickling 200 million in closed loans now. I think I'll be hitting that goal at the end of the year. So 10 years. So that's averaging $20 million a year, which is, I'm not the top. I'm not at the bottom either. So I do all right, but I'm only licensed in 4 states. So, I mean, I do okay. I want to do better, but my mission is to actually to enlighten people as far as ownership, because the thing is, you got to be able to invoke yourself. It's a mind frame. It's a wavelength. It's something that you have to tap into, and you have to not only tap into, you have to do. And what we do is we chip it away piece by piece. We react to these different things, but we're showing you, at least I'm showing you a mind frame that what it takes, because I'm not the one that's been handed anything. I haven't been given anything. I had to make and take. And I know take sounds bad, but I'm not talking about stealing. I'm talking about take it by the horns and actually make it so. And I want to share that with everybody.
Yeah.
Does that make
By the way,
sense?
could we comment briefly on what Mr. Human said? So I'm the only person on here that said, thank you. We agree. We absolutely agree. Thank you for adding us to your calendar. Here's part of the deal. Both of us are very strong in our space. We know what we're doing. We've been around the block. You're listening to good professionals. The key is, we just recently, Brandon and I, started aligning on doing this together. Brandon's been doing this for a long time, kind of on his own, but we started doing this together recently, and we're trying to build the brand and the audience and the awareness on this specific platform and what we're doing here only in the last couple of weeks. So this is a relatively new rebrand, if you want to call it that. Not even a rebrand, a refocus that we're doing together now as partners. So I'm excited to see where this thing goes in the coming year. I think as time goes on, it's going to keep growing and growing. And we're going to get some good guests on here too. A lot of good professionals that you're going to get to meet. And as well, no matter where you're located, by the way, it doesn't matter what state you're located in. I'm licensed in 6 states personally. Brandon, you said you have 4, but our company is licensed nationwide. So if you have any needs in the mortgage real estate space, there is opportunity here for people to get help and advice for what they need, free of charge. Reach out to us. We'll help you get to the right place. Hey, if Human Side of the Wolf, reach out to us, DM us. We're open to suggestions. I'm new to this space, so I'm learning it myself. So I'm going to take the blame for bringing Brandon down here. In the future,
we will have shows where we let the guests up as well. So be on the lookout for that. So once we get our regular panelists in place, we're going to actually open it up and bring in guest panelists that's in the audience as well. So be on the lookout for that. I appreciate the follow. I appreciate this. But let's get to the first clip. Let's show you what we do here. Let's get to the first clip. And then we're gonna react to it from there. So let's go ahead and rock it. So without further ado, let's go. Can y'all see the screen?
Wait for it.
My broke friend, listening
sir.
to that advice. I mean, the biggest advice I can give my 25 or 30-year-old self is two things. One, stop trying to impress people that you really don't want to be like. Ignore the noise. Egos don't fly in packs. Just be solo. Like, just be focused on your deal. And understand that people who are wealthy have quiet in their head. You cannot have a bunch of noise around you. You can't be partying every night. If you see me at a club, I own it. You won't see me at a club 2, 3, 4 nights a week. That's my time. And wealthy people get up early in the morning. So if you're in partying, if you're at the club until 2 or 3 in the morning every night, how you can compete with somebody who gets up at 5 in the morning? But I just ignore the noise, stop the flossing, get into your grind, become the absolute genius at what you do, and everything else will come to you.
If you had to start again.
I love it. Thank Human Side of the Wolf. Could we pause on the question for just a sec if you're willing? Or put it up and then we'll put it on the screen here in a sec. But did you want to go first? You want me to go first on this one?
No, I'll let you go first, and then I'll wrap it up. Yeah.
So I think he's absolutely right. I mean, the thing is, there's a balance of thought here. There is an element of going out, having fun, socializing, networking, going to these things. There are people I know that are literally top producers in the space, and all they do is they're in wine clubs, they're going to clubs, they're doing something. Like, they just have the right connection. So for some people, this can work. But in general, staying out to 2, 3 a.m., partying all night, trying to get up at noon and starting your day and trying to do something, it's not going to really pan out for top success. You really want to try to do it a little sooner. So we want to make sure that you're dedicated with your craft, with your focus. If you do this the right way, you're going to have better results. It's just, we all know this. There's a balance of thought here. But then there's also those people that are like, I get up at 5 a.m., then 4 a.m., then 3 a.m., and I'm just going to stop sleeping because I'm just going to work so dang hard. That also doesn't work, or it only works for so long before you're going to burn out. So I think there's a work-life balance here, kind of a concept. That's one of the takeaways I had from that video. But stop hanging around your broke friends. I like that point. That's a huge part of it. Your influences in your life is going to make a big difference for you.
Right. Let me hit it from a couple different angles here. And Human Side of the Wolf, I'm gonna get to your question here in a second, but let me add some context to it. What is broke? Broke means it's broke is a mind frame. Broken means it's short for broken. So that doesn't have anything to do with like the money that you have currently. You can have successful people that's rich, but currently they don't have a lot of liquid going on. And what I mean by that, liquid money, assets right now, but they have a mind frame that they're going to get it. Broke means defeated, means that you're not trying to achieve anything. You're drifting through life. You're grifting, or whatever they call it now. So it's a mind frame. So if you're broke as well, then chances are you're going to be, you're going to be attracted to the same group that you are. But if you're trying to elevate, you might want to get around some people that's doing the same thing, or kind of go solo a little bit. Like he said, I like the fact he said eagles fly alone; they don't fly in packs.
Yeah,
a lot of times you're not going to make a popular decision by doing things that you deem as necessary to get you to where you want to go. If that makes sense.
Yep. So, a lot of professionals we watch too, they'll talk about like, show me your top 5 friends and I'll tell you who you are.
Right.
Like there is that balance too of, even if you are trying to fly solo as an eagle, which I think is a great analogy, sometimes you have to, when you're not flying, who are your friends? Like who are you associating with? Are they other top professionals that are going to bring you up in life? Not even just in business, but I mean like socially too. I mean, your good friend, your spouse, there's a lot of people that affect us. Who you hang around does change your mindset. It really does. And it's funny, it happens so subtly, just the smallest little word whiskers you pick up even around that one person.
Right. I don't know if you study epigenetics or not, Robert Lipton. He talked about your
I've
environment.
stumbled across it, but I have not studied it. No.
Actually, it's Bruce Lipton. He's a scientist that figured out that our environment unlocks genetic codes, and there's a reason why they call it a genius. It's in the genes already.
Mhm.
And your whole thing is your environment unlocks it. So if you're in an environment around people that's not doing anything, that's gonna unlock certain things in you that cause you to not do anything. But if you're around movers and shakers, that unlocks something as well. It's like it's that old cliche: a boat rises to the tide or something. What's that old cliche that they use?
Yeah. All boats rise. All boats rise at the tide. Or I know the phrase you're thinking of.
Right. So
if anybody's watching and remembers the phrase, throw it in the chat for us.
Right.
The
So
exact different
it's
thing.
the old cliche. So to answer your question, the human is wolf. What if you're broke, or if you're a kid? If you're a kid, then let's take it from that angle. If you're a kid, then if you have aspirations, and nowadays you could be an influencer in your teens. So I don't think a kid will have to worry about finances or have to worry about being a winner just yet, but it's instilled in you from your parents. So I was the opposite. I wasn't taught to be competitive or to be a winner. I had to look around me, and I had to get around certain people that brought that out of me, the competitive spirit. But it has to be something inside of you, that wants different from what you have. You look around and you want things, and all right, how do I achieve them? And 1 + 1 = 2. So you have to get around people that bring certain things out of you. And he asked, what do you mean mental? I'm not sure what you mean about that.
I know. Well, I can I comment on this? He said, how do you do this as a kid with a broken mental state? You know what? Mental anxiety, social anxiety, challenges that kids are facing in life are harder than it's ever been. I think it's in a lot of aspects. I think a massive, massive piece of this, though, the key to this thing is we talked about your influence here of people around you. The number one place people are being influenced is social media. So right now, great example, Human Side of the Wolf here. You're on this channel watching this, trying to grow and learn something and understand something different. Most people out there want to see a cat doing whatever and something jumping off a table or whatever, right? Like they want to see people, the fails and the comedians, and they want to see who's the latest hot gossip, and who you're associating with also applies on social media. In fact, it's probably even more influential with how much time people are spending on here. So my argument would be get off social media or unfollow, start following, more importantly, good quality people that will enhance your life, enhance your skill set. I mean, like Brandon and I don't know about you, Brandon, but like almost everything I have, I got a few funny fail stuff in there. Don't get me wrong. Whatever, things I like. But most of what I follow and listen to and watch is all real estate, mortgage finance related, business mindset, leadership mindset, like things that will make me better so I can take something away and grow from it.
Right. Well, don't forget, food is not just physical, it's mental food as well. So what you are what you eat, and that's mentally as well. So if you're watching a bunch of brain rot stuff, how can you then in turn manifest or present or produce productive things if all you're taking in is filth? It's garbage in, garbage out. So if you want to be productive, what you need to do is you need to watch productive things, watch things that you can construct and build things and build up a paradigm that you want. I disagree. Before I answer the Human Wolf, the other two questions, I disagree with you, David, on two things that you said earlier. The first thing is that I don't think a human can burn out. I think that's something that we've been programmed to think. I think we are.
Did
no,
I say that?
You said that. You got to get a work-life balance, and you don't want to get burnt out by waking up at 5 a.m. every morning and stuff like that. I think that's something that's the first world program thing that we conjured up. I don't think there is no such thing as burnout. You know, it's a term that we like state of the art. Those George Carlin words, those fluff words.
Right.
It's all in a human. Don't forget, we replenish energy. You know, you deplete your energy, you get it back. You deplete your energy, you get it back. There is no burnout. Burnout is something that they've come up with to make you cope with your situation. You know,
can I also defend
let me
okay. If you want to go to the next one first, go ahead.
Right. So I was just naming what it was. My rebuttal to that would be, I think if you live life with purpose and you're living up to your purpose, you can't get burned out, because this is what you're here to do, and this is what you're promised. So if you live in life with purpose, how can I get burned out by serving my purpose? So a lot of people are burned out because you're not going where you want to go. You're not doing what you want to do. They made up something to cope with their situation, what they made themselves. They painted themselves in the corner. Now I have to cope. Oh, I'm burnt out. No, you're not living life in purpose, and you're not enjoying what you're doing. That it's the cliche. Hey, if you doing what you love, you never work a day in your life. So how can you get burned out if you really love what you're doing? All right. Yeah. The second point I disagree with you about is that you said kids have it harder than they ever had before. I see kids on motor scooters and on sitting at the house with AC, and you know, getting picked up with Uber, and they press a button on the phone, and somebody comes to their door and picks them up and drops them off somewhere. I don't think that's hard. I think my grandparents had to walk everywhere, and they and they had to, you know, they had to sit on the back of the bus, you know. So I mean, I don't think it's hard. I think this is first world problems. I think we got spoiled, and we're entitled to everything and grateful for nothing. We need to be. Hey, I'm in the AC. I have heat. Yeah. I have lights. I'm able to make money on my phone. I don't have to go outside and break bricks to make a living. So this is as easy. I think with these first world problems come these first world diagnoses. Oh, you got this. You got depression. That's kind of leading into the segue. And I'm gonna give you a chance to
everyone right now.
Before I get into human as the wolf. Yeah, go ahead.
Mental health is definitely a topic on everybody's mind, and right. One of the most challenging things that affects mental health is money and also social media influence. When I say kids have it harder, they definitely don't have it harder than we had it growing up, in my opinion. But I didn't have it as hard as my parents and my grandparents. I agree with you completely on that point. What I do think is harder, though, is it's harder to focus. It's harder to go forward, like we were, because the video we were talking about is how do you grow and build, you know, he's interviewing somebody that's a business leader. How do you get to this point of, I'm going to take ownership of my life and go? I think it's harder in the standpoint of, like you said, finding your purpose and leading with purpose. And like, I've got this vision, I'm going. It's harder to do that when it's like, this is coming at you. This is coming at you. This is coming at you. This friend thinks this. This one thinks this. This one disliked your thing. They made this horrible comment on your social media. Like that kind of stuff unfocuses you, and you start to build your own mental anxiety based on someone else's comments or thoughts. So that's where it can happen. Plus, coming from, you know, keep in mind, you're talking to a guy that I was focused on finishing school quick. I graduated when I was 15 because I'm like, why am I even bothering with the school thing? If I can go faster, why wouldn't I go faster and get out of school and go work and make money? So I graduated high school when I was 15, started working full time, doing volunteer teaching work on the side. And then I learned about this mortgage thing. I got married when I was 18. I knew exactly who I wanted, what I wanted. I found the girl I liked. This is it. I'm like, I'm marrying her. This is it. And 21 years later, we're still married, by the way, in May. So 21 years. So married her and immediately got recruited into financial advising and mortgage lending. And in my mind, I'm like, this is so empowering. I can change people's lives. I can change my life. So I started working 70 hours a week, 2 other jobs alongside this, doing what we're talking about, working a 15, 16-hour day every day for 7 years straight until I made it and not made it, but made enough that I could quit those other jobs and focus my time just in this industry.
Right.
So,
when you're in love, or when you love what you do, or you love the purpose, the love that you had was, I got the ideal life that I wanted. So let me do what I need to do to sustain that and maintain that lifestyle.
Yeah.
Right.
So I want to point out to Human Side of the Wolf here, when you're talking about how do you do this with a broken mental state, the challenge first and foremost is we got to help shift the mental state. One of the ways we do that is trying to figure out, where do you want to be in life? Figure out your purpose, figure out your goals. And then now we can work the math backwards. I want to be here. What does it take? And then we work the math backwards of, okay, I need to do this is the industry I like. This is the schedule it might require. This is the investment it might take. You work that backwards. And now you've created a very clear path through the purpose to reach these goals, which gives you the mental clarity and the desire to want to keep going and moving forward. You have a purpose in life now.
Human Side of the Wolf. I like the name, by the way. My repertoire is tough love. Let me give you some tough love, and I hope you don't take this personal. But in the same side of token, I hope you do take it personal in the right way. Because I'm from that era where it was tough love. We had the old coaches, and it was telling you the truth from a masculine frame. I think depression is something that's made up. It's something that they can make money off, just like, all of these diseases, diabetes and all that stuff is something that's made up that they can make money off. I think there's no way that you're telling yourself that you're depressed. That's the only way you could be depressed, and you act upon what you're thinking in your mind. Don't forget that your matter follows mind. So if you're in your mind, you say that you're depressed, then you will be depressed. If you live life, and let's echo what David said, the main thing is finding your purpose. If you find your purpose and you execute, you find a way every day to execute or maximize your 16. You have 16 hours in a day to try to execute your plans. If you live every hour of that day, every day, to try to fulfill your purpose, I don't have time to be depressed. I think what happens in the first world country, we have too much time on our hands. Sorry to say, you got too much time on your hands, and you get in your own way. It's you that's causing this, not anybody else. You look at it, you scroll and look at everybody else's life, and you try to pay smart yourself with somebody else. But you got to find your purpose, and you got to build that blueprint, and then every day execute that blueprint. And I don't have time to be depressed. Most of the time I fall asleep at this desk, and then I wake up because I'm gonna go till I can't go anymore, because I'm trying to fulfill a purpose.
Yeah.
I don't have time to think, well, damn, I don't feel good today. Or, damn, you should do. Keep going. And then you say something about women. If you say you're young, you're a kid, you got to put women to the back burner. That's another thing. Don't forget all this stuff that you see on media, social media, is stuff to get you off of focus. What you need to do is find a purpose and then focus like a laser on that purpose. The rest is noise. The rest is noise to get you on track. Celebrities talking gossip. The latest Chanel purse, the latest pair of sneakers. Who does this? That's all noise. Yep. All noise. If you focus on yourself and being the best you can be, and then some, you don't have time to worry about women. Because think about it. It says that, let me take it from there. The earth revolves around the sun, not the opposite way around. If you become that star that you would, the gravitation, they're going to revolve around you. Mm-hmm. But you got to have that star magnetism.
Yep. The law of attraction, right? That concept.
Yeah, right. And you know what? The thing about the star, our star soul, it never gets out of line. It does what it's supposed to do every day. And we should do that as well as humans. We should need to do what we need to do every day and be in perfect alignment. And then you're going to get that gravitational pull. But if you go out of alignment, if the sun rotates or wobbles one, it could cause a catastrophe. So you get out of alignment, meaning you sleep all day. You don't serve your purpose. It's going to be a catastrophe. You need to get in a line, stay on your path, stay on your focus. You don't have time for depression, and everything's going to fall in line.
Yeah,
women are going to revolve around you.
Can I ask too, if you're still watching Human Side of the Wolf, I'm curious, is the name perhaps even in that ancient concept of which wolf you feed is the one that grows, perhaps? I'm curious if that's kind of where you even got your name from, because I mean, honestly, that's true. It's you got your good and your bad. I mean, what you feed is what grows. So
have God and have Zilla, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm wondering, is the human side of the wolf. Like, that is the challenge, right? There's the leadership wolf. I'm a lone wolf. Like, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna run, I'm gonna grow, and then there's the human side of it. That's what I was thinking maybe. Okay, yeah, perfect. Thank you. I was wondering if that's maybe where the name came from, that concept. And I want to remind too, for anybody watching, the name of this whole thing is the power of ownership, which is part of why I align with Brandon and wanting to jump on this thing, because we're talking about taking ownership of our lives in every single aspect. And all of us, I think, are guilty of losing this at times, one time or another in our lives, or maybe being misdirected even on a daily basis. None of us are perfect. We're not doing this absolutely right. But when you understand the principles, the foundation of this, it gets a lot easier. It gets a lot easier if you're focused on the right things. You got that goal, you work it backwards, you have the right influences, you stay off too much, don't do too much social media if you can, or at least focus on the good stuff only. It's going to help you grow and feed the wolf, not the human side, like you said. So anyways, I just thought that was an interesting.
Human, let me ask you this. What's a furry? Furry? I'm not sure what that means. And then
I wonder if he was wondering, I'm in a fury. I don't know what
I'm not sure. I'm a fury, but yes, I'm not sure what that means.
You know what's sad is, Brandon, we're so out of touch too with
it's like we getting old, man.
The slang.
I'm not sure what that means.
We should do one of those videos sometime. Some of the slang that's coming out too, of just like making sure we understand what's what in the in the world.
And then he said, "How do you stop SH?" I'm not sure what SH means.
I'm assuming he's saying poop.
No, I don't. Why wouldn't you just bleep out the I? So I don't know.
I'm guessing.
Break those down a little bit more, and then we'll answer them. So I'm not sure how to respond to those, but you know what I mean? So, all right. So let's go to the next one while we're doing this, and let's go to the next one. But yeah, good discourse.
Yeah, thanks for the interaction too. By the way, we appreciate it. This is the kind of thing we look for.
Exactly. All right, let's go to the next one here.
Device just leaked, and it's not a phone. The crazy part, it's launching next year. It's called AI Pin, and this leaked last week. It's the size of an AirTag, tiny, aluminum and glass, 2 cameras on the front, 3 microphones, speaker built in. You clip it to your shirt, it charges like an Apple Watch. You talk to it, it sees what you see, and you stop reaching for your phone. Now, why would Apple, the company that makes all its money from the iPhone, build something to replace it? One name, Johnny Ive. He designed the iPhone, the iPod, the iMac, every iconic Apple product for 30 years. He left Apple. Sam Altman paid $6.5 billion for his company. And now he's building an AI device for OpenAI designed to kill the smartphone. Launching late this year. Apple looked at this and said, we're not becoming Kodak. You know Kodak, right? Invented the digital camera, ignored it, let others take over, went bankrupt. Apple would rather kill the iPhone themselves than watch someone else do it. Now, we've seen this fail before. Humane, $700 AI pin, massive hype, sold 10,000 units, more returns than sales, dead within a year. So why would Apple's work? One word, ecosystem. Humane Spin was alone, no connections, no friends, just one device trying to do everything. Apple Spin is the brain of everything you already own. You ask it something, answer comes through your AirPods. You need to see something shows up on your Apple Watch. Heavy processing, your iPhone handles it quietly in your pocket. And that brain is getting a massive upgrade. Apple is rebuilding Siri from scratch. Codenamed Campos, iOS 27, full ChatGPT level chatbot powered by Google Gemini. Summarize the email my boss sent. Done. What's on my calendar tomorrow? Already knows. Show me photos from Italy. Right on your watch. No setup. It just works because Apple already has your entire life. Now, this won't kill the iPhone tomorrow. You'll still need it for years. But this is step one. Apple's slowly moving you from the screen in your pocket to AI that just lives with you. Here's my take. Apple's been selling us glass rectangles for 18 years. That era is ending, and they'd rather disrupt themselves than let OpenAI do it. 2027. That's when this ships. The iPhone won't die suddenly, but this is where it starts. Follow. I break down every major AI drop. Apple's most
Very cool.
All right, so we do the round robin. So I'll go first on this one, man.
Sounds good.
So it's starting already. We going from the beta testing with the Google type AIs now it's starting to integrate into the phones, and I'm already starting to integrate it into my life. So how long before it's totally integrated into our lives? So that's what I want to talk about on this clip. And I want to talk about how Apple is like not scared to take risk and change. They've been a master of this thing for like the 18 years. So now they're taking a leap, and all right, this could destroy this. This is, but why not? He said in there, I don't want to be Kodak. So all right, how long, why not pivot and get to the latest technology? So this might kill his phone. However, I'm going to be the leader in the next wave, which is ingenious. I mean, you can't be scared. A lot of people. Let's talk. I'm gonna talk about this a second. Then I'm gonna get to the how long before we totally integrate with AI. But you can't be scared to look 10 years ahead when you're in business, because I think what happens with business that become a dinosaur. I get calls, at least 3-4 calls a day. People, hey. We're a media company. I could I told a guy the other day, he hung up on me. I said, I think that's a dinosaur business. So you're going to go out, your business is filming content for people. That's dead, man. Why do that? And I can get a bot to do everything, take my image and do everything. David and I talked about this earlier today. That's the future. Why would I go ahead and film everything, spend a whole bunch of money getting a casting director, getting a set director, and when I could get a bot to do it in a few seconds?
Yep.
Doesn't make sense. So they're seeing where the writing is on the wall, and the phone is going to be a thing of the past. It's going to be totally integrated with you. They're going to see everything you see. They're going to know everything you know, and then some, and they're going to teach you whatever you need to know.
Right.
That's where it's going. So is it scary or is it progress? That's the thing. It's being totally, because they've already said that, and I've seen it myself. It's like I like to do these brain buster type problems and try to solve them myself. Now I got so lazy with it, I just throw it in chat, let chat figure it out.
Yep.
And they had these studies that's showing that your brain activity before AI, now your brain activity now, and it's shutting off this brain activity. So how far along before we at idiocracy, before we're not thinking at all?
Yep, that was a fun movie.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but so that's my thing, is like how long. I don't think it's that far down the pipe. I think it's within the next 5 to 10 years that AI is going to do your shopping. It's going to do your scheduling. It's going to do your thinking. It's going to do all your papers, and the whole is going to be totally integrated in our lives.
Yep.
It's
the AI tech you buy and or how well you learn how to use it is what's going to matter most.
Right. They already have refrigerators that tell you, all right, you're short on juice. I'm going to go and order some juice, and the juice will be at your door via, what is it, shopping cart or whatever. Whatever that, that's where it's going. That's what that's where the future is going to be in 10 years. I need a ride to such and such. A driverless car is going to pop up here at your door and say your ride's ready. That's where it's going.
Yep.
So I'll give you the floor.
Yeah, I mean that's the movies we've been watching for how long, and all the shows of like AI is going to take over the world. Yeah, it absolutely will. Right. And if you're not ready for it, it will take your job potentially too. So get ahead of it. Yeah, we were talking earlier. I had a meeting with a guy today who was showing me a new AI tech that I thought was really cool. That some of the best performing AI video content you can ever create. Of like you literally better than even like HeyGen and some of these other things. Like it's really good. You can hardly tell the difference if you do it right up front for the filming and the structure and the prompting. Like, it's good. I think that's where it's heading. I really do. And I think for our industry, specifically the mortgage industry, the finance industry, that we're in primarily, both you and I love the fact that our company, Nexa Lending, largest brokerage in the history of the industry, we're getting ahead of this. We're actually building our own AI platform that we're working with developers on to be spearheading the industry on this thing. So we're going to be ahead of the curve. Because, I was thinking back to, do you remember the days, Brandon? I don't know if you were, I think you were in this at that time. But remember the days when you had to take all 1003 mortgage applications by hand?
No, not that old.
No? Okay.
No, it was, yeah.
No, okay. So when I first started in the industry back in 2005, every single meeting I had was in person. You had to physically take it by hand and then and write everything out, physically collect stuff, bring it back to the office to make photocopies, to then bring the docs back to the client or have them come pick them up. And then you would fax the application, fax it to the company to get reviewed by somebody internally. Like, that's where I came from. And then moving forward, it's like, okay, now we can do this on a computer and we don't have to meet with you. I can just type this all in here instead. But then it was still, okay, print docs, scan docs, email them that way. Well, now everything's digital. It's moved completely to, you fill out an application online, you fill out your consultation request. We do that online. We do that over the phone, over Zoom. Everything's electronic for document uploads. Now the AI tech is good enough that it can read the documents for us and it can tell us, here's how much income we have. Here's what the credit looks like. Here's the profile breakdown, and it can give us feedback on this. But what we're moving to is we can have AI do the whole thing for us. While me as the licensed professional can watch this thing, go through, and I can analyze and help along the way and prompt it and do what I need it to do. It'll be doing it for me. It'll ask questions of the client. It'll structure things the right way. Hey, Brandon, tell me about this. I notice you missed this thing. Can you tell me more about this? Can you provide this document for me? I notice this isn't quite what we need. Can you get me this? I mean, the AI is coming for our jobs too. But I love that we're getting ahead of it. And we're trying to figure out how do we implement it so that we're on the leading edge of the curve. Because I think exactly what was said in the video, if you're not on point with this, if you're not ready, you're going to get blown out of the water. You're not going to be here very long. And I think this is applying to not just our industry, but this is a worldwide thing. I mean, this is coming for every business out there that has to learn to adapt. This is a big deal. Right.
They used to have people that would actually ride horseback and take messages to people, and it used to be called like a telegram or whatever, or a singing telegram, and a message. It was the Pony Express. Wasn't that like the first?
Yeah.
So that was,
or even back before then. You had the runners back in Greece, right? You had that's how messages traveled, like in ancient Greece and Rome. Like they would have runners running with the information to the next point that were run to the next point and the next point.
Right. Yeah. So I think we have to prepare that the world as we know it will change within the next 5 to 10 years, and it's going to be a new normal. And you have to get prepared for it. Shameless plug. That's part of what my book coming out, the Message to the Businessman. That's what I'm talking about. In that book, in business as we know it is going to be different. How we conduct business, how we staff. And to answer David's question, to answer your question, I think just what we're doing right now is the way to get ahead of it. I believe, like our CEO, Mike Cordes, who's the head of Nexa Lending, I think he said it best, is that influencers are going to be the new loan officers. I think the officer part of it is gone. I think who has the biggest digital footprint? Because this is how I imagine. Check this out. This is how I imagine our job will be in the next 5 to 10 years. I think there's going to be AI is going to take over the whole piece. I think people are going to, with the little pins, hey, I'm looking for a house. Okay, here's all the houses in your area. Boom, 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 boom.
Or walk up to the house with the little pin and say,
right.
I want this house.
Right. Boom. Here. How do you get pre-qualified? I see Credit Karma and all that. You're pre-qualified for this much. Boom. You don't have to do an application. Boom. It's already, it knows all your information.
Would you like us to link your accounts?
Would you link all your accounts? Boom.
Yep.
All right. Now you're pre-qualified. Show up to the house and then automatically let you in because there's some kind of code that has, we already have the what is it? The machine, the new,
I forget what you call it, but those are the it is a thing right now. You can actually like send the code and open the door.
You send the code and it hits your phone and automatically opens up the lock. Bam. So now it's going to be integrated in your pin or whatever you have on, like an air tag. This the size of an air tag now, so it's going to be integrated somewhere on you, right?
Right.
Boom. You walk into the house, it shows it yourself. You're going to have panels or whatever that kind of shows you digitally.
Right.
So you're not going to need realtors. You're not going to need loan officers. It's going to be all integrated. Right. The knowledge.
I also just had one other shameless plug too for anybody watching. If you do want to check out in the comments here, there is that hit everybody. Oh, that's cool.
Right, it's going to hit everybody.
It hit everybody. I didn't realize that would actually go through to all the platforms when I did that. Because we just upgraded that. But this link here, if you actually go click on it and take a look, I have found recently that of all the platforms that are out there, this seems to be the best one I recently learned about that takes ChatGPT, Gemini, Nano Banana. Name the platform. There's hundreds of AI platforms that are all integrated into one place, and it's cheaper than every other platform by itself. Right. So I highly recommend, if you don't have this already, go check it out and look at it. Galaxy.ai, but use my reference code and you get the discounted pricing there. So take a look at it if you get a chance. And then Human Side of the Wolf. Yeah, we want to talk about this briefly. Could I also just comment? I mean, the focus of this podcast here is focused mainly on power of ownership and improving yourself, improving quality of mindset, business, and all of this too. We are not licensed therapists, psychiatrists, psychologists, doctors. So I want to be careful just to make sure this is clear. We are not providing medical advice here. Just a disclaimer for what we're sharing. We are trying to be helpful, but we certainly, if you're in a position where you are struggling with this, I highly recommend seeking medical advice and talking to a close, trusted friend on this point. But Brandon, I'll let you continue from there. I just wanted to make sure to mention that for the record.
Right. And like I said, I'm not a psychologist or anything like that, or a therapist or anything like that. But I know you mentioned something about, I know it was misspelled or whatever, but unaliving yourself or something to that effect. I would say that
we appreciate that. Thank you for the compliment.
I would say to that is that it's all a perspective, if you stay within purpose and you know what your purpose is, it's hard to not love yourself. It's hard to not be the one to be at the pinnacle of your game. It's hard, so I think it only gets difficult if you make it difficult the other way. Because think about it, there is really not any past. Where is the past and where is the future? It's all in your mind. All we have is right now.
Yep.
And I think the anxiety that you come from it is something that you're doing it yourself.
When I was growing up, not to go too far off on a tangent here, but when I was growing up, I was extremely focused, extremely purpose-driven. What I was talking about, graduated early, started working full-time, volunteer work. Like, I thought I was doing really well. But at that same time, it was about a year or two in, there were some challenges going on, some things in my family that were affecting me, and also with a couple of friends. and I don't want to get too deep into this topic here, but there were some things going on in my life that caused me to actually get to the point where I was feeling similar of maybe I don't want to continue living. Maybe I don't deserve these things. Maybe I should change my purpose and focus. What is the point? I went through that myself. So I don't care who you are. I think a lot of us, you might be surprised. If you open up about this to friends, family, I might think you might be surprised how many people can relate to you of wanting to do the right thing, wanting to stay focused and purpose. But just appreciate your comments. Thanks for being engaged. I do hope you sleep well. And feel free to come back on again. Please follow us, share with your friends. But
one other thing before you go to sleep, not to cut you off, David, but look at it like this. Most people, you talked about breakup earlier. Most people don't want to see you succeed, especially I would take it that you're a guy by that name. So as a man, most people don't get the empathy as a man. So most people don't want to see you succeed. So you transmute that energy as fire and as fuel to the fire. Mm-hmm. So instead of, they want to see you curled up in the ball. They want to see you, so why give them what they want? The best revenge is success. The best revenge is to see you shining on top. So that's what fuels me. Most people don't want to say, like, damn, this big dude, why is he always, they can't figure it out, but they don't see the work that I put in. And that work keeps me busy. That work keeps me from all those anxiety, those thoughts of anxiety. The work keeps me busy. So and it takes work to get to where you're at the top of your game. So this focus, and you don't have time to think about these things. And then the sweetness of the revenge is your success, your purpose, and will be rewarded for maintaining your purpose. It's simple. It's a simple equation. So when you're not doing anything, it calls you to fall out of favor. It calls you to fall on hard times, difficult times. Then you have time to be in your head. Larry used to say this all the time. It's like, good night. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks,
yeah. So, but Larry said this all the time. If you don't have time, you have money. If you don't have money, you have time.
Yep.
So if you're not making
Larry is one of our team leads, by the way, for those Larry is.
So I agree with that statement. If you don't have a lot of money, you have time. So all right, I got too much time. So I need to fill this time to not get in my head. And if you stay on task, you don't have time to, all right, let me think about this, what I don't have, what I'm lacking.
Yeah.
So
I also think sometimes too, it's the focus of the time. Because I know about you, Brandon, but I don't have enough time in a day. And I have a feeling you're probably the same way. So not enough time in a day, but I'm trying to get better at controlling what I'm spending my time on, higher quality use of time. So that way I can grow and shift more of my time into the dollars versus, hours a day in meetings and things, unproductive trainings and meetings and things like that just don't really move the needle forward. So AI, to this point of the video here today that we talked about, AI can help with a lot of this, though, if it takes away some of the burden of you don't need to worry about this because AI has it. It's going to do it for you.
Right.
But coming back to that point of adopting the AI quickly and integrating into your life and business now, learning about it now is extremely important. Don't wait till you have to learn it one day. Start learning it today. Go research. What is this? How does it work? Funny enough, it's free. I don't know if people realize this. Like, I put the link in the chat for my Galaxy AI referral link there, but even though that's $15 a month is all it costs for that thing, you can go on ChatGPT for free, Gemini for free. You may not have all of the prompts and all of the systems and all of the higher level stuff, but you can play around with it. Like, try having it write you a paper. Try having it write you an email. Write you a social media post. Ask it questions. Play around with it. Try it. And that's the only way you get good at it. Like right now, I've been teaching my AI every day practically, like, learn this about me, save this about me. Here's my preference for this. By the way, one thing I did just for fun, I did a discourse recently that was a 10-minute discourse. I said, I'm going to give the discourse to you. I want you to make sure to watch for my pausing and words per minute and all this. And I want you to track it and use this in how you create helpful information for me in future, knowing my words per minute, how I pause, how I do things, where my eye contact is with the camera. So making sure to watch me with this and then give me feedback on it. And then that's been helping me a ton on staying on point, staying on time, making sure I got the right focus, help me build illustrations and stories in. Like I need to do better with this myself. But my point with this is try it, play with it. So many people are scared of the technology. They're like, well, I don't know about that AI thing. Like maybe one day. It's like, no, it's here. Right. It's already here. It's not coming. It's already here.
Good. That's a good segue for this next video. So let's go ahead. I don't think I put this I don't think I put this one in the chat, but.
And actually, my prediction is in the benign scenario of the future that the robots will actually make so many robots and AI that they will actually saturate all human needs. Meaning you won't be able to even think of something to ask the robot for at a certain point. Like there will be such an abundance of goods and services because my prediction is there'll be more robots than people. So,
but how do you then have human purpose in that scenario?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing's perfect, but it is a necessary. Like you can't have both. You can't have work that has to be done and amazing abundance for all.
And then the big political and economic question of the 21st century will be, what do we need humans for? Or at least, what do we need so many humans for?
Do you have an answer in the book?
At present, the best guess we have is keep them happy with drugs and computer games.
We call this the metaverse.
What you guys do in here?
Pretty much everything that you would do in the real world.
Or at least, what do we need so many humans for?
Would constitute a new useless class. When I say that these are useless humans, it's not from the viewpoint of the mother, of the wife, of the son.
Or at least, what do we need so many humans for?
First, we've got population. Now, the world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
Or at least, what do we need so many humans for?
Forget the conspiracy. Listen to our government agencies. These guys are telling the truth. There's no conspiracy here, folks. Just get your damn vaccine.
All right. Thank you, doctor.
And actually, my
I think it's your turn.
I think that's about what we got. I think it. In fact, there's a video. I should send it to you. I saved it a while back. I think if I can find it again. There's a guy that's talking about like, let's walk through this. Let's walk through what if hypothetically AI is growing at a super pace, and what will this look like? How does it work? Where is it going to go? What will this do? And then he kind of builds out this simulation of. In like a 4 or 5 minute, it's a longer video, but like a 4 or 5 minute video where he breaks down like in 2026, 27, 28, 29, 30, like where will it go and how will this likely change with what we know today that's available for tech and how this likely will progress. And what he was showing, it kind of aligns exactly with this. I got to get you that video, but this is a huge... this is a very key point, I think, that we are going to hit this faster than people realize. They used to say technology. I remember just a few years ago, they were saying like technology doubles every 18 months or so. But with AI, it is so much faster. It is way faster than that. I mean, we're seeing, just there was another video. In fact, is that one of our videos today is the robots walking? Is that one of yours?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Maybe that's another one for another time. But look at robots. Mm-hmm. Just the technology built into these robots where they're trying to get them to like stand up and walk, right? Well, in just a couple of years, they're running, jumping, upside down, doing cartwheels. I mean, crazy stuff that they've been doing. Super lightweight. They're in people's homes now, live. It's actually a real thing. This has happened. Like, this is moving very fast. So, yes, I think Elon Musk being interviewed here and others, I think he's right on. I think given a little bit of time, this is going to be kind of almost the norm. And as costs keep coming down because of the technology increases, costs will keep coming down, making it more and more affordable for more people to take advantage of this. Kind of the same as, Tesla. When Tesla first came out with the cars, super expensive, no one can afford them unless you had $100,000 to put down or whatever. Now these cars, you can buy a Tesla for what, 30,000, 35,000? It's not that expensive. It's actually cheaper than other cars. So as the technology gets better and the cost comes down, I think we're going to see more and more integration faster. And then the faster integration is what will perpetuate the cycle, the demand now, supply and demand. The demand will increase because more people can afford it for the demand to happen. Therefore, supply needs to increase, and they continue to roll out more robots, more tech. This will be a thing. I don't think there's any question about it. I think the only question is just how fast does it actually move?
I think it's going to expand exponentially because it's like I alluded to earlier, that I don't have to do these brain buster equations in my head or thinking. The AI does it for me, which allows me to do more tasks. I think that's the whole point is we're becoming more efficient in our day-to-day. So in turn, we could do more. Think about it. My grandmother used to, and I used to do this as a kid. My grandmother, in order to pay a water bill or to pay a bill, she used to have to stand in line at the grocery store. And there's a place that you could pay your utility bills. And the line would be out the door. So that took like half the day. Now I could go online and I could pay this in less than 15 seconds. Mm-hmm. So that hours that she had to go pay bills, that's all given for us to do more things. Yep. So now think about if computers could do, if we as humans could do that, how fast can computers process things? And they're getting smarter and smarter. So that's why it's going to explode exponentially. As stuff gets quicker and quicker, it's going to get quicker and quicker. That's all. It's going to get quicker and quicker. So it's just going to open the floodgate. I think they held it back as human. They're letting humans sip through the hose, the fire hydrant, because if they'd open the fire hydrant, it'll blew people away. They wouldn't know how to adapt to it. So they're leaking it little by little.
I agree. Some of the tech is already here. It's just a matter of they're holding it back intentionally. Which is usually how it goes, right? Like it's usually military tech. Military is what leads it, and then from the military, it trickles down into society as it needs to be released. What they're talking about here, for the most part, I think it probably already is there.
Right.
Mostly in place. It's just we don't have access to it yet as the consumer.
Correct. So I think, like I said, it's going to be all of this stuff is fact gathering. So everybody's on social media. They gather their profile. I could have a clone of me. My image is there. I have so much footage. They could make a copy of me. They know how I talk. They know the inflections of my voice. Everything is there. So I think in a future, in the not so distant future, I'm going to be able to make 3 or 4 meetings like I always. It won't be me. It would be my AI clone that's at the meeting. And hey, go to this meeting and then all right, give me the notes on everything that I missed.
Yep.
And then respond like as if it was me.
I'm actually personally, selfishly, I'm kind of excited for this because if I schedule a consultation with someone, which is always step one, never, ever apply with me. I want step one to be consultation.
Right.
But man, if I could have a me that knows the questions to ask and depending on the answers has learned what next questions to ask and just over time, like literally have the AI just listen to my consultations for a year. Probably doesn't even need that long, a month. Listen to my consultations for a short period. learn all the answers and the prompts,
Mhm.
and the answers of the replies, and I could literally have everybody just meet with me,
Right.
literally
Oh.
listen to me and the exact advice that I would give. It's not
Right.
very key point. It's not replacing me. It's supplementing me. You still
Right.
get me
Right.
and my advice, and it's me.
Right.
Because this is something that no one else would know to say or do, or it's not going to be my voice. It's not my style. It's not the process flow that I want you to do. It's not
Right.
going to have my financial advising background and all the other things. It's still me. But doing that will allow someone then to go move to the next step of actual me. Once we've gotten all the busy work out of the equation up front and figured out what we need to do, put a plan in place, all those prompts essentially.
Mhm.
And then now instead of just feeding me, oh yeah, I think my credit score is this, my income's this, and my assets are this. Now it can tell me, hey, I already shared all this. Here's exactly where I'm at. We broke this down. We analyzed it's coming from this, and this source. This is on taxes. This is not. This is coming from my husband. This is from my wife. This is, oh, my kid's going to give me, jump on the file too. My dad's going to give me a gift of money. All this stuff will be determined up front. So I know what to do going into it, and we can save everybody so much time, your client included.
You're getting to the crux of what I was saying. So now let's take it back to what I was saying as far as Cordis, the influencers.
Yep, our owner, Mike Cordis. Yep.
Yeah, the owner, Mike Cordis, that owns Next Lending. So my blueprint, you get me. And now I'm able to become more efficient. So now I could clone myself, and you get me times 10. I got me here. Now I got the biggest piece of the pie because people are buying into me because they know me and they trust my expertise.
Mm-hmm.
So now I don't have to have a delegate to do it. The future is you get me or the program of me because it knows everything I'm going to say and it's going to act as if it was me.
The other you is only going to be as good, though, as you prompt the other you to be.
Right.
So there's an art, like if you get a really good AI, a really good clone of you, that shows you did a really good job teaching and training that one. I can't help but think about the movie Multiplicity for those that have not seen it. I think we might have talked about this before of Multiplicity, where he clones himself once. It's a little worse. Clones himself again, a little worse. Again, it's dude's retarded. Completely, not, he's not all there. He's not all there. Retard is the wrong word. I apologize for those watching. He's not all there. But the clones keep getting worse. And that's because of the way he's doing it and all that. But I just think in our world, if you teach one clone of you, we talked about, could you clone yourself? What would that look like for your model, your business? If we can do that the right way. But the key is getting ahead of it too, and making sure you're doing it before everybody else does it. Because if all of a sudden everybody's got a clone of themselves and nobody's taking applications and you're never talking to the true professional, I think there's an element here of humanness that is never going to leave this thing, that people are not going to want to deal with a robot or a clone all the time. They might be okay starting that way, but I don't think our jobs are completely going out the window. I think to an extent, we will still be involved with this because there's an element of expertise that no matter how well you teach the AI, it's not always going to know what to do and how to structure it in a certain way if it's not built right.
I think you're holding on to it a little bit. Look, I think as it gets better, don't forget, look at AI videos in 2019 as opposed to look at it now. Look how far it's gone. So I think the glitches, if you talk to Chat GPT right now, it's seamless. It talks to you seamlessly. So what about 4 or 5 years from now? Don't forget the exponential boom that it's going to get better and better, because now it's not humans that's doing it. It's computers or AI that's doing it and making it better. So I don't think you're going to need the prompt. I think it's going to be able to learn you and get better at learning and learning the nuances. And then I can add, all right, let me hey, AI, dump all of this, the guidelines into yours. So it's going to be better than me because I might have a brain fart. AI won't. You know, so it's going to be better than me. So think about it. We had the same thing. You know, I might be a little bit older than you. It was a thing back in the 80s.
You got a couple years. What
Right.
are you, like 7 years older than me? 8 years?
Maybe. But remember, I don't know if you remember in the 80s, early 90s, people like, man, I don't know how people could talk to talk to the phone. Like, you know, I want to talk to a human. That was a thing. Now people don't care. They prefer to automate it. So I think the younger generations, they're born into it. They're going to be used to talking to AI.
By the way, for any of our clients watching this,
right,
as a great example, United Wholesale Mortgage, UWM, largest lender in the world, has fully adopted AI. They created a technology called Mia that is proactively calling all of my clients. So by the way, if anyone watching this is a client and they get a call from Mia saying, hey, I'm David's AI assistant, I wanted to ask you a couple questions, make sure you know how to make your first payment on, congratulations on your closing. I wanted to make sure you make your first payment this way. Here's where you go for this. Here's how you reach David. Like, we've already literally have a lender partner of ours with AI built in, working for us, making calls, helping our clients know what to do, and reaching out to past clients saying, hey, did you know rates came down? Did you know that you might, if you wanted to refinance, it could make sense? Have you thought about upgrading, downgrading, whatever it is? If you do have questions, call David. And it'll automatically, seamlessly send me the information, send me the transcript, let me know what to do, what was talked about, what questions were asked. Like, that's already here with our lender partner, UWM, who is a technology leader, of course, trying to spearhead this kind of thing. But we're already there. Like end of 2025, we've been there.
Right.
Like you said, in 4 years, not even a question.
Right. I think it's going to be seamless because it's already there now, seamlessly there. Like with a conversation, and I think you're thinking like it's glitching and hey, it's going to repeat certain things. No, it learns. And even I asked it purposely one time. I was prepping for a client interview, tough client interview. So I'm prepping it and I'm asking it the same thing. And I could hear the inflection in his voice again. I can hear it getting frustrated. Like I said before, it's this, and this, you know, so it's learning that it's even repeating itself. So, and
I gotta get you. There's another dude. I'm sure you've seen him. There's another video. I just reminded me. I got to get to you for us to do a commentary on one of these things as well.
But let's go to this next one. I got two more. Let's roll out on this.
Good deal.
Right here is the best way to get rich quick in real estate. I'm just kidding. There's literally 0 ways to get rich quick in real estate, but there are plenty of ways that you can change your life through real estate. If you're working a job and you absolutely hate it and want to quit, wholesaling real estate may be the best option to replace your income and be able to quit that job. Wholesaling is finding a house just like this one, putting it in contract with the seller, and then selling that contract to an end buyer. You can make 10, 20, 30, maybe even 50 grand a deal doing this. Making wholesale income like this will definitely allow you to quit your job if you do it right, but it's also a grind. If you're a super busy person, you don't have time to allocate, this may not be the strategy for you. Your next option to get into real estate and change your life is called fix and flipping, finding a house like this one and fixing it up and selling it on the market. This is also not easy. You have to learn how to raise money. You have to learn construction, manage sites, and manage a bunch of people to fix houses up like this one. And the last option is going to be buying rental properties. This is definitely going to take the longest between wholesaling, flipping, and rentals, but this one is going to change your entire family tree if you do it right and produce you semi-passive income. Lucky for you, we do all 3 of those things. And if you follow me here and on my YouTube, which is in my bio, you'll learn how to wholesale, flip, and buy rental properties. Just hit that follow button. This strategy right.
Is this one me to start?
I think you went last time, right?
Okay, so you start. Yep.
Right. So I'll put this in here because I like he's more pragmatic than the rest. A lot of them try to.
I was going to say the same thing. I like it.
They tell you pie in the sky, and they try to tell you these quirky angles that might have made them, or it's maybe it didn't make them, but it sounded like a good idea, and they're exaggerating online. But this is the 4 basic ways, and I like the way
that he talked about, right?
Nice wholesaling, fix and flip. He talked about
and then buying and holding.
buying, holding, and then he talk about construction as well.
He did not, but that is technically a fourth one you could add in theory.
Yeah. So I thought he talked about construction, but I thought these were the 4 legs of how to get rich with real estate, which will be wholesaling, fix and flip, construction, and buying rental houses that's already there.
I mean, arguably, fix and flip and construction are kind of the same thing.
Fix and flip meaning that it's already there. Construction means I'm built from scratch.
Fair enough. Yes.
Right.
Sure.
So that means get a piece of land and then build something on it or develop it. So
right.
So
a land developer. Okay.
Right. So that's kind of the fourth element. The get rich, but it's pragmatic. He said on all of them, it's difficult. It's wholesaling, it requires the least amount of money, but it requires the most amount of time. Just like we said earlier with Larry. Larry's our team lead. He said, if you don't have money, you got to have time. If you don't have time, you got to have money. Either one. So if you don't have a lot of money to get into real estate, but you have time, wholesaling is all in the network. If you know enough people that's going to buy these houses, you got to build up your network as far as people that have money. And then you got to find the people, you got to find them houses. So you got to find people that's selling their house or willing to sell their house at a discount. So it's all on the networking. As far as fix and flip, you got to have a little bit of money, not a lot, but you do have to have a little bit of money to get in the game. Yep. And a lot of time and a lot of know-how. And and if you don't have a lot of time, a lot of know-how, you're going to have to get a mentor or take some courses or learn from experience to how to do that. As far as buying rental properties, that's an art to it. That's the most, because it takes the longest time. It takes years. I do definitely agree with him. And then as far as developing, you have to have the most money, I would say, because you got to not only buy the land, most of the time it's in cash, because most of our lenders that we have at Nexa Lending here, most of them, if you want to buy just land, it requires 40% down a lot of times. So you got to have a nice chunk. You got to have a nice chunk of money, and they won't do a lot of $50,000 loans. Most of them are going to be 150 on up. So that's a substantial amount of land, here in Texas, or other pieces. So you got to have some money to get into the buying game. We have construction lenders that'll, walk you through the whole piece, and you can use that land as a down payment, but you got to have that initial investment on buying that land or putting that money down for that land. So, but either way is lucrative. I like the pragmatism of this video, and it's not trying to sell you a dream. You could get rich in real estate, but it takes a lot of time, a lot of patience, and sometimes a lot of money.
Exactly. That's my thought too, is so many of these videos that we see out there are like, this is how I got rich in real estate, and then look at me, and I did this crazy cool thing, which I think one of our next videos is actually talking about this kind of. Right. So when you see these videos, it's like, yes, that's possible. That is possible. But do you know how they did it? And there's a lot of gaps missing usually in the explanation they're giving you. And they're not telling you the whole story of the challenging times, all the things they went through, the costs, everything that really went into this thing. Mm-hmm. And depending on your strategy, there are people that maybe one path is better than another for too. It's not an all or nothing like, well, which one do I feel like? Like, it kind of depends on you too. Mm-hmm. If you want to do wholesaling, like you said, I mean, there's a whole world of wholesaling, but what you want to do is get into that space and stay in it. Now, granted, you might have a perfect deal that comes along that you want to fix and flip, or something like that, or buy and hold. But if you're wholesaling, that's your main path. That's your focus. That's more of a one-off, like maybe you do it on the side. That's your focus. If your goal is fix and flip, you focus on fix and flip. You don't get into wholesaling. You don't go start trying to buy and hold. You're fixing and flipping. So there's money to be made in each of these. I think the problem is that some people have is they try to get into too many things at once.
Right. They're all over the place.
Or they assume it's going to be fast and easy, which is, like you said, the fact that he's pragmatic about the fact this is not going to be fast and easy. This is going to take you some time. Mm-hmm. Personally, the thought of going into a rundown house and trying to fix the whole thing up and flip it myself, because that's what a lot of these people are doing, is they want to go in and do all the work themselves. That sounds horrible to me. I'm a mortgage guy. I sit in my office and I do mortgage lending. I don't want to go. By the way, I came from construction. That's why I'm in mortgage lending. I don't want to do construction anymore. That's why I don't do that. So for me, I'm in mortgage lending now. That's my focus. That's my push. If your focus is construction, do fix and flips. If it's not, maybe you're a really good, negotiator and wholesaling's better for you. Maybe you're thinking, I want to build a passive income over time to leave a legacy for my family. And this is more so, I want to start acquiring properties. So maybe you get 5, 10, 15, 25, 50 properties under your belt that you're buying and holding, which I'm going to argue, by the way, long-term strategy wise, if you're buying and holding and you're getting a little bit of rent, it's not a lot, but a little bit of rent on each of these properties. And over time, you keep collecting and collecting and collecting this rent, and it starts to grow your passive income. That gives you more income opportunities with other things while your equity is growing in the property. As your mortgage drops with your renter paying it, your value increases over time automatically. The work you did probably on the property at first, when you first acquired it, just to enhance it and make it livable, doesn't have to be like hard work, but you made it livable, enhances the value up front, plus the gains. Now you've got equity in these properties too. You might have 50, 100, 200 grand in the next few years on each of these properties. Extrapolate that over, 10, 20, 50 properties. All of a sudden you have options. Now you can sell the property, take cash out, do a refi. Maybe this one's owned free and clear at that point. You take cash out, go buy 2 or 3 more of those properties. And there's so many ways to slice it. It's not a one size fits all, is I think the main thing I want to land on here. It's not a one size fits all. Everybody's circumstances are different. Your market is different. Your expertise might be different. Who you're partnered with, if it's just you or you've got 2, 3 partners. Do any of you have construction experience? Do any of you have real estate experience? There's a lot of things that come into play. The financing is a big piece of this too, by the way. How are you going to finance it? What's the cost of financing? How fast can you finance it? Does your lender have access to fix and flip financing? Do they have the ability to do investor cash flow, DSCR kind of lending, where we're looking at just the cash flow of the property to qualify or not? For what you were saying, Brandon, about construction, I don't think he talked about construction in the video, but if you wanted to buy land and build, that's a whole nother world of construction. Again, 40% down typically to buy land to start is very common. If you're going to buy land and figure out your build, that's a lot of money to come up front. Do you really want to do that? Because you're going to pull money from somewhere, and that money's going to go sit in that property at a 0% rate of return for as long as it takes you to be able to build on the property. So is this the best path for you too? Could be. If you've got a background in construction, you got the right builder, you got the right the contractors. So
it's a lot more to it. You got to have the permits. You got to, because one thing they could, what I see a lot in our market, they don't have the money to finish. So people come in and they have to sell it, and people come in and finish their project. So you got to always put in your blueprint that it's going to cost 15 to 20% more than you anticipated, especially when you're building from scratch.
Which even builders and lenders, by the way, are automatically going to do for you,
right?
Because they know that that's the case, and they're going to force you to do it whether you want to or not.
Right. And what I'm running into in my market is that the contractors don't want to work. It's like pulling teeth to get them to work. You got paid, so let's go ahead and finish this. They halfway do stuff. They skip over stuff. It's a mess. And that's why they're leaving the door open for robots to take their place, because it's hard to find people to work nowadays. And that's why I've been trying to get some construction done on this property for like the last year. I've been here a year or something now, and I've done a couple projects, small projects, but it's been like swimming through the mud to get people to do what they're paid to do. And it's the sign of the times. It's the sign of what we talked about earlier with hanging human side of the wolf is like it's a different ball game as far as people having that that winner mentality as far as to get themselves up and keep focused and live out their purpose. Back in my day, and I know I sound like an old geezer now.
Back in my day.
Back in my day, how you did one thing is how you did everything. Even if I was a janitor, I wanted to be the best janitor. You know, so now it's unless you want to make a whole bunch of money for doing nothing, and you're not even at the top of your game. You're not even the best at what you do. So how do you want to get paid like you're the best? You know, so it's a different ball game. Let's get this last one going, and then because we're right at the 2.5. I mean, the 1.5, like we're supposed to be. So
sounds good. I love it.
Let's get it wrapped up. Let's see. All right, here we go.
Your favorite business coach, and this video with Kasanat went viral. I shared how I got rich with my family. I'm going to go in more detail to show you how we use insurance to buy businesses and get rich. The first thing that I did was open up a whole life insurance policy that gives me lifelong coverage, cash value, and most importantly, guaranteed protection of my money. I funded my policy, which has over $300,000 in cash value. And then I went to a bank and applied for a revolving line of credit against my cash value. So no, I did not pull the money out. So it's still growing compounded interest. Instead, another bank gave me $300,000 in the form of a line of credit to start investing. While my money is growing protected in my insurance policy, I utilize the line of credit to start searching for businesses on websites like bizbuysell.com. As I searched for businesses, I found this self-storage facility that I got under contract. I purchased this facility utilizing that line of credit. And guess what? It brings me $30,000+ a month, which is over $350,000 a year. I've done this exact process multiple times, repeatedly, helping my family out and others do the exact same thing. This is how I got rich with my family. I'm teaching this completely free. Comment the word wealth, and I'll send you a link to join me for free. Is Ramel your favorite?
All right. Is this one me to start?
Yep. You go ahead.
That's what I thought. All right. Perfect. So for those of you that may not know, I was actually life insurance for almost a full decade when I first started off in the industry. And part of my job was helping families understand the differences between term, cash value insurance, and all the different options that are there. So I'm not sure if Brandon even knew this before posting this video here. But this one hits home for me of there's so many things. I mean, we could spend an hour on this one video alone, honestly, but I'm going to argue one very important point. If you were to go talk to any financial advisor right now and ask them about this concept of cash value insurance, and by the way, there's different types. There's whole life, universal life, variable universal life, and combinations of all kinds of different ways you can slice it. In the past, it used to be horrible. These policies would self-implode eventually. They would not be fully funded properly, and it could destroy your financial plan. There were no guardrails on this thing. Just the same as there were no guardrails on the mortgage industry. There were no guardrails on the financial advising industry. There were no guardrails on the cash value life insurance industry. This was a big problem for a long time. It has cleaned up. It is much better now. And the policies of today are way better, like night and day than what they used to be back in the day. However, any financial advisor is going to tell you, if you were to go talk to them, should I take out this cash value policy for this concept? I want to invest money. I want to do this. I want to do this. They're going to say yes, but only after, if they're a good advisor, after you have gotten your foundation in place. This is the roof of the house. The foundation here is your family protected for basic insurance? Do you have an emergency fund? Do you have any kind of investment strategy going on here of a 401k, an IRA, anything like that? Have you maxed that out? If you're self-employed, do you have a SEP account, a 401, a simple IRA, whatever other things, a 403b? Whatever the thing is, are you maxing all your investments out? After you've done this, usually then, when you've gotten the basic foundations done, then the cash value policy makes sense and you start building and growing that. And as you build and grow that over time, and it starts to perform, and there is a rate of return tied to this as well, similar to an IRA or anything like that. Like there's a rate of return to this thing. There's a guarantee sometimes on the money too, which a lot of people like, but it's still conservative rates. So there's this whole world of this, right? Like, and I'm not advocating, for the record, one policy over another, because I am no longer life insurance licensed. I have let my license go. So I want to make this clear. I am not providing financial advice in this topic specifically on what you should do personally. But in general, I'm going to argue, if you go talk to a financial advisor and ask them this question, they're going to add this on after these other things. Then you'll take this thing and you'll go run with it. And you can do a lot of cool creative things. To the video's point, the guy in the video's point, there's a lot of creative things you can do here with the money. You can borrow against your cash value policy. It's a very cool thing you can do. You can't, just the same as you can borrow against your 401k. So like if you're going to buy a house, as an example, you have a 401k, you can take money out in many cases, or you can borrow against your 401k for your down payment to buy a house. You can do the same thing with a cash value policy, insurance policy, that you have yourself to borrow against it. So that's a cool thing you can do. It's kind of a backup emergency fund that simultaneously protects your family. But he's showing in the video here like 300 grand in this thing and what he's borrowing against. This is something that he's created over a long period of time and invested heavily into. And I want to point out as well, these are not cheap policies. These are thousands a year to hold that policy. So you have to have a lot of money pulling through to fund this the right way, to be able to borrow against and take out the money the right way, to then in turn reinvest it back like he's showing. This is a very cool strategy that does work. But you have to have the stars align in what you want to do here. And then he's taking this to another level of like, and now I'm going to buy a storage facility, which is a whole nother thing of like a commercial property. You're going to buy, like, how are you going to finance this? How are you going to do this? Like, there's a whole nother conversation over there. So he's pulling together all these things, but I wanted to focus on the cash value policy. This is, for anybody that doesn't know, a very great strategy to add to your financial portfolio. Talk to your financial advisor about getting a cash value life insurance policy. Life insurance is extremely important. My dad died of cancer 13 years ago, and my mom still is living today on the life insurance policy that I put on him 13 years ago. So get a life insurance policy. I don't care who's watching this, term policy, whatever it is, talk to an advisor, get a term policy in place.
Right.
But cash value is better if it's a good policy with the right features, right products, and your foundation level advising plan is in place. So again, I'm sorry this is more long-winded. You didn't even know we were going to go into this probably, Brandon, but yeah, this is a big topic for me personally going through this.
Right. What he failed to mention is kind of what you briefly uncovered, is that he made it seem like I just went and got a life insurance policy and I immediately could take out the cash. What he failed to mention is that you have to have that cash value in there already in order to take,
which takes years and upon years to develop.
Or if he put a lump sum in it already.
Or lump sum, exactly.
Right.
Lump
So
sum,
basically,
investment up front.
All you're doing is moving your money around.
Because to provide the lump sum, you got to take it from something else, right?
Right. So you just moved it around. What it is a good strategy in that case to do it that way, because you still have the debt benefit of the life insurance policy in case you do kick off, you know, and then you do still have the triage of a compounded interest as well, you know, as far as doesn't, as you as it gets older, doesn't it increase in value, those type of policies as well?
Correct. As the policy ages, the cash value can increase if it's funded properly. That's the key. And that's where people got into trouble, is it increases, but people weren't keeping up with the premiums. So all of a sudden, what they were paying sounds great, but then all of a sudden they're short.
Right.
Because the premiums are increasing, but they're not funding it right. So then what happens is the policy, the cash value, starts to fund the premiums until eventually it comes down and self-implodes. And then all of a sudden, this whole life policy, which is the entire concept of the name, you'll never have to worry about it. It never expires. It never goes away.
For your whole life.
All of a sudden, it self-implodes. And at 60 years old, it's like, sorry, there's no more money in your account. Your policy has been canceled because all the cash value of that 100 grand you built up has now gone back over to your premiums to pay your premiums that never changed because you didn't keep up with them, and therefore you no longer have insurance. So you just spent all this money, a massive amount of money, to fund this incredible policy that will never pay out in remotely close to what you could have for a 10th of the cost or an 1/8 of the cost on a term policy. So concept here is, the whole premise of my financial advising background is buy term and invest the difference. Buy term, invest the difference, let that grow, and eventually, when you have enough term insurance and enough money in the bank and enough money for retirement built up, then you shift it over to the cash value and start building another policy on top of this to generate wealth in another way. It's another avenue. But it's supplementary. It's not a primary focus. It's a supplementary focus here for building wealth. And any good advisor will tell you the same thing. If any advisor is leading with cash value life insurance as their go-to thing for you, I'm going to argue you should probably work with a different advisor.
Right. And this, for disclaimer, we're not fiduciaries. We're just kind of
correct. I said that earlier. I want to premise again. Background for almost a decade doing this, but not licensed right now, not providing financial advice to you specifically.
Right. So, but yeah, I would say that's what the part that he's missing. Basically, this moves his cash around. And he borrowed, he borrowed against it, which now you got to pay. It kind of nullifies. This depends on the interest rate that he got. It kind of will nullify a lot of the interest rate, because the interest that you're gaining from the insurance policy pays for a lot of the interest that you're spending on that money, right? And if
what he's not sharing too is, where did he get the money in the first place to fund the cash value policy to get the 300 grand?
I think those guys are streamers, so I think he got a lot of streaming money. But Casanano, the guy at the top, is like, he's one of the best, the top streamer. I don't want to say the best. He's one of the top streamers in the world.
Sure,
right now. So I think if you got a lot of money, you got options. The best people don't. The worst thing you could do is buy stuff cash when you got a lot of lump sum of money. The best way is to actually put it in policies. That way you get the debt benefit as well as the compounding interest. I don't subscribe to 401ks either, because I think 401ks is something that they conjured up to give us a false hope. If you have nothing else, then yes, go ahead, fund. If you're a worker, you plan to be a worker the rest of your life, and you have a problem with saving money or investing on your own, yes, get you a 401k. However, there's other ways to prepare for retirement other than the 401k.
Right.
That's better, because don't forget that when you take money out of that 401k, you're going to get taxed on it. And then the money's not worth as much as you paid for it. I mean, the money that you put the 100 grand now is going to be worth 10 grand by the time you retire. So, and you're getting taxed on that at the higher rate, because the rates are going higher. So it's not a good deal for me.
Unless it's a Roth 401k, where you are doing after-tax dollars in there. So there is a balance here of where you could do with that. But yeah.
But you will get taxed if you do a Roth. You go pay the taxes up front. Right.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to pay it on your income. So no matter what, how you slice it, it used to be like pensions. Companies paid your pension. Then it's like, here's a 401k, and we'll give you a match. And then we're going to keep lowering and lowering and lowering the match. And then now most 401ks are no match. And then it's like, well, what's the point then? Why would you just self-fund this on your own in different ways?
So when do you want to pay your taxes? Now or later? So I guess if you had a choice out of the two, I guess Roth would be better, because I'll pay the taxes now.
Right.
That way,
and it's funny because most people, and I'm not saying again, not financial advice. Most people, when we were, I would meet with them for financial advising, they would say, "Well, when I retire, I think I'm going to be in a lower tax bracket."
right. Well, they're already shooting.
But the argument always was maybe, but probably not. I'm going to think more than likely. Do you think taxes over the history of the country here have they gone up or down?
Right. And inflation, has that gone up or down? By nature,
Inflation too. Up.
So, right. So the money's worth less.
Yes.
Than when you had it originally.
Mm-hmm. So it's probably, arguably, better in some cases to pay the taxes earlier and knock it out right now, which is where the Roth IRAs, the Roth 401ks come in. But keep in mind, there's a lot of other things too, especially if you're self-employed or you have a business. Then there's other things you can jump into as well, if you have an LLC or an S corporation or whatever it is too. So there's a lot of tax strategy here. Also, not licensed CPAs. We're not providing tax advice.
Right.
But what this guy is saying, in theory, sounds nice.
If in circumstances, they
in
leave a lot of
very
stuff
specific circumstances.
Yeah, they leave a lot of stuff
not
out.
the norm.
Right. A lot of what he made it seem like is that I could get a policy and I could borrow against it right away. That's not the case. That's not the case.
Yep.
Yeah. Nobody's going to borrow that. Nothing's backing that 300,000.
Exactly.
So what are they going to give you based on what is worthless? Is this a piece of paper? So nobody's going to give you 300,000 out of thin air. He dumped the money in. He dumped $300,000 into that policy for it only to be worth 300,000.
Right. And by the way, when you talk to a financial advisor and you get a policy like this, they do have a chart that they provide you where they break this all out. So you can actually see, like, if I put 5,000 a year or 10,000 a year into this thing, eventually how much will I have over 10, 20, 30 years, whatever. The cool thing is it's better tracked. It's more easily trackable than other things because it is life insurance. So it's a life insurance policy. Therefore, there's more accurate stats behind it, but it is going to take you some time to build it up.
Right. So I want to say this deep point, then I'm out because I gotta get ready for the borrow. One thing we have been convinced of, since we talk about assets, is that one of the most important assets that you have is time. And we got convinced to trade our time for an asset that's depreciating. Time is getting more and more, as you get older, getting more and more valuable because you have less of it. And that's something that can't be replaced. You don't get more time. You have a certain amount, and only one person knows that start and end date. You don't know. So a lot of people trade this time for quote unquote money, or they just give the time away to frivolous things, to stuff that's not serving their purpose, the stuff that's actually bringing more harm to you than good. And this is the asset that you'll never get back. And you're trading this for something that's depreciating or something that's actually doing you harm. So you got to analyze, what am I doing in order to maximize myself? And you got to do a self 401k. We talk about the power of ownership. The biggest thing that you can own is yourself and your time. Yes. Because you're not getting any more. So you got to value your time. One of the things, most of my wealthy friends, that's the biggest thing. They won't let you waste their time. They're huge on that. Oh, this is a waste of time. I mean, so giving time to your broke friends that's not benefiting is actually doing you harm. You got to analyze this. What am I doing? What am I doing? If I want the certain results, what am I doing the day-to-day to actually achieve those results? And then is this going to be a net positive or a net negative?
Right.
So I get it. Oh, I'm young. Oh, I got time. How do you know this?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not anti-fun. However, what is fun? Is struggling at 30, 40 years old, is that fun? is not being able to make ends meet, working on a fixed income, believing that you're going to be in a lower tax bracket, and you are because you didn't plan.
Mm-hmm.
Is that fun?
The system's designed to do this to everybody. That's just the way it is.
Well, is the system, or are we doing it to ourselves? Because I see people that they have the same limbs as I do, excelling.
Mm-hmm.
So are we doing it to ourselves? Because I see opportunity.
I agree. That's the thing is, can you read between the lines? Can you see the opportunity in between everything? But I don't think everybody does, because the thing is that the entire system is designed. We talked about this at one of the earlier videos of the distractions, the social media, the things that keep us away from living our lives and fulfilling purpose.
Right.
We're distracted from this intentionally. So take ownership of your life, take ownership back, redirect your time, redirect your focus on how can I grow and build wealth. It could be cash value insurance. It could be wholesaling, fixing, flipping, or buying and holding real estate. It could be all kinds of things that we've talked about today.
Or it could be AI itself. Instead of running from it, oh, it's coming. They're taking our jobs. It's all on how you look at it. Is it? Are you a patriot or are you a terrorist? It's all in the eye of the beholder.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So what I mean by that is that it's all perception. Is it the world coming to an end, or is it the beginning of a new world? You know, so you got to embrace it. So AI is coming.
It's coming.
By you
whether you like it or not, and whatever you want to call it.
By you complaining about it, or you denying it, you sticking your head in the sand, it's still coming. That's why I don't understand. I don't understand people that, oh, I'm depressed, or I drink, I'm an alcoholic. Or I'm a drug addict. You doing all this to mute the pain or numb the pain or make it's still going to be there once you come off your high.
Right.
You're still going to have to eventually tackle these things and be able to invoke yourself.
Yep. And I think so many people are struggling. I mean, honestly, like they're struggling. They're looking for answers. Anybody watching this, I mean, that's part of what we're hoping to do is provide a little bit of hope, a little bit of direction. So maybe, just maybe, you're watching this and you're thinking, that's a good idea. I should try that. I should look into this. I should talk to a financial advisor. I should do some research on real estate investing. I should talk to David or Brandon about, getting pre-approved to buy a home or refinance my current property if we want to look at that, or whatever it might be. Like, there's so many powerful things you can do in life if you have the right people behind you. I think is a big piece of this. The first part of this is your social influence.
Or the right purpose. Like you shared earlier, you had the wife that you wanted, you had the town that you wanted, and what you did, you had it in your mind, I'm going to do what I need to do to maintain this.
Yes.
So you got to have that, and that was your purpose, to have a family. That's what you wanted to do. So you got to put yourself in the right situation to where, hey, this is what I want, and I'm going to work every day to sustain this and to make this a reality.
Yep.
Nobody owes you anything. Nothing is going to fall in your lap. Nothing is going to fall out of the sky. And here, this is you got to decide what you want to do with your life, and then execute. Every day is a battle. Every day is a blessing.
Yes. And don't rely on your parents or family to bail you out too. It's amazing how many people I'm talking to lately, they're like, oh, my mom, my dad, my grandparents, my siblings, somebody's going to hopefully bail me out. They're going to give me a gift of money to buy a house. They're going to help me with this. And it's like, power of ownership. Take ownership of your life. You don't need this.
Right.
You can do this. You just got to focus for a second.
I think that's a larger conversation that I had earlier.
I know.
I think what happened, the battle in our time, and I hate to say it, I'm probably out of line. I'm probably going to get some flack for this, but it's not. It was civil rights, but in my grandparents' time, that's not our fight today. Our fight is I hate to say it, is feminism. I think what happened is they had fight for equal rights, and I think the pendulum swung too far on the other side. Now it's gotten to the point to where everything is coddled. There's no tough love. And we need that masculine energy in order to be productive citizens. It's the balance. It's the balance. We need that tough love. Like, hey, we didn't got time to be depressed. It's the survival of the fittest. That's how we've done it for hundreds of thousands of years. You know, so the first world problem, that won't make it. That won't make it. So we got to fight the stop this toxic. Everything is toxic masculinity. Nah, we're men. We are men.
I think so.
They're trying. What society is trying to do is trying to take the testosterone out of men being men and label it toxic, and that's not the case. We're competitive by nature.
I think in general, just across society, I think that the main focus is don't take control. Literally the opposite of what the whole concept of the show is here, the power of ownership. It's don't take ownership. You're a victim. The victim mentality. You're a victim.
Right.
Everybody else is against you.
Right.
And
It's everybody else's
stand
fault.
up against the people and fight against everyone else that's making you a victim. And they're going to pigeonhole you into whatever victim you are.
Right.
I think of like, I don't know if you remember the
paralyzes you.
That's my mindset. It was like the Price is Right of like, if you remember Plinko, you
Right.
drop the puck at the top and then it dances around and then falls
Right.
in. It doesn't really matter where it falls, one way or another, wherever it falls, you lose.
Right.
There's only one little spot you win, which is the winner piece. Like, but I think everybody's like, they're dropping pucks like, am I going to win? I hope I win. I hope this works. How do I do this? What if you could just pick, like, why not I just walk up and put it in there and then I win? Like,
I think we have a generation that's been coddled.
Exactly.
They've been over nurtured, and they don't forget this is the participation trophy.
Right.
Generation.
Well, and I'm the oldest, by the way. I don't know if you know this,
Right.
Brendan. I'm the oldest of 5 boys.
Right.
5 boys. I'm the oldest of. Myself, my brother under me was a little bit more hardworking. Not great, but a little bit. And then from that point, right about there down, everything stopped. And I don't want to knock them, but like my 4th brother down has never left my mom's basement.
Right. Doesn't have to.
He doesn't have to because mom loves him. He has depression. He has anxiety. He can't get a job. He can't hold a job. And again, if he's watching this, I apologize. I'm not trying to call you out, buddy. But the
what
thing
if you had no
changed,
choice?
The only thing that changed really in the whole thing was right then is when I was growing up is when Facebook came out.
Right.
And Instagram came out. And all of a sudden social media was there. And all of a sudden it's like all these people are talking to you about, well, the algorithms learn. I'm a victim too, and I'm a victim too, and I'm a victim too. And all he's seeing is the stuff. And I'm convinced to this day that is the differentiating factor. There was like this element in 2007 when Facebook kind of came out forward that anybody from around that time period growing up with it forward kind of got stuck, is struggling more with certain aspects of this on the influence than those that were born just before that, not dealing with it. So I want to argue again, back to the point of, we were talking to this one guy here that was talking about, the wolf you feed is kind of what he's based his whole profile on of, good or bad things is what you feed will grow.
Right.
Social media is a heavy influence. So just be careful. That's why we're trying here on this podcast, we're trying to use it as a positive influence for everyone, not a negative influence.
Right. Well, this is the thing. Let me say this and let's get out of here because I definitely got to go. I think we need to embrace the differences in a role. We have differences, gender roles for a reason. And we were able to build society off of this for tens of, if not hundreds of thousands of years. The thing is that what happens is if you're listening to too many people's opinion, and don't forget, the women are the most social. Back then we had the women used to to get together and cook, and they had to be the most social of the two. We were the hunter gatherers, you know. We had to hunt and bring. It was more on task. We were task oriented. So now, if you sit around and gossip, and you sit around and look at everybody else's life in comparison, instead of going out and doing what we were talked about and staying busy, then you have time to think about these things that never came up before. Oh, I'm depressed. I'm a victim. I'm this. If you will bask in your masculine energy, where you have to, all right, I have the responsibility, like you had, of a family. If I don't kill this antelope, the whole village doesn't eat. So I don't have time to think about how depressed I am. I'm thinking on how I could track this antelope so we all could eat.
I think it even gets more basic than that of being out in the sun.
Right.
Vitamin D. Like we used to go, as kids. I mean, I know you too. You go outside, you hang out, like you go out for 3, 4, 5 hours and like, hey, just be home for dinner. Parents didn't know where you were. You're out playing in the woods. You're building a fort. You're climbing a tree. You're riding your bike, whatever. You're out in the sun doing stuff. And now everyone's at home with their head down. That's why we've got these kids with these neck syndrome where their neck is like janked down like this wherever they walk. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's become an epidemic, actually, a medical condition now. That is a real thing. People are inside watching their phones, and that's all they're doing, that and playing video games. They're not outside. They're not in the sun. This is why the doctors keep saying, go outside, walk around, stand in the sun, get some fresh air. There's a real scientific benefit to it. But so that's what I'm saying is it gets more basic even than that. Just being active, doing anything is helpful.
But
for everybody, man or woman.
Hanging around the inside, it was never our thing. You know, it always were building a house, carving something, doing something tactile. And that's what even how we learn. Most males don't learn memorizing stuff. Our whole school system is based on memorization. I say the professor says something, how well could you memorize it? Back then, it was about application. How not only how can I memorize it, but how can I apply this?
Yep, repeat it, do it. How can you translate this? Now, if you take that concept of math or reading, whatever, and apply it here, then it applies there.
Right. They took that out of it. So with that being said, a lot of the just like any other muscle, it has atrophy to it. Yeah. So our brains have, it's been laying dormant for so long. So now I have. If you think about it, if a turtle or something couldn't swim, would it feel out of place? If a giant couldn't, if a lion couldn't be in the jungle, if it stayed in a 8x8 cage and had to run around, wouldn't it feel some type of way? So, is it not we're doing it to ourselves?
Yep. Yeah. Are
you not out of your element?
Yeah, it's funny, I do a lot of volunteer teaching work, and it used to be you teach somebody a concept, a new thing, a new understanding of something. And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, like, okay, well, analyze this, compare this, look at this. That makes sense. But now it feels like we're teaching people how to just live life. We can't even go to those new understandings and thoughts. We're teaching people how to live life, like get enough sleep, eat food, drink water, like basic things to live life. That's what it seems like we're teaching more and more often, which is kind of sad, but that's where things have evolved. And we talked about earlier, AI coming as well, how fast it's advancing. I think this epidemic, which I'm going to call as an epidemic, is only going to keep getting worse. But it doesn't have to get worse for you. You can choose yourself is the key.
And that's why we're doing the Power of Ownership podcast.
Yes.
Take ownership, be yourself, know your own, be yourself, and be able to focus on being the best you that you could possibly be. And that goes for Hunger of the Wolf earlier. If you sit back and watch this replay, if you catch the end of this, I think you have too much time on your hands. I'll say it again. Get busy. Find yourself. Find a purpose and get busy doing that purpose. Be you.
Yes.
And with that being, does the sun have time?
That's a good way. Get busy. That's a great way to end it.
With that being said, let's see you next week.
Thank you, Brandon.
All right. Later.